Man, if that doesn't set the fucking mood, I don't know what does. God, I love that opening. And I made the motherfucker. So it is what it is. But gents, you know what time it is, don't you? Oh man, it's that time. It's exposed motherfuckers time. But somebody beat me to the punch. So I'm going to use their video a little bit. Now, some of you know who Salty is from the Salty Army, the Salty Cracker. Now, Salty doesn't know me from Adam, but I know him, and I enjoy the content, and I enjoy how this motherfucker is piling up subs, lots of looks. Oh, man, it's just amazing. But we'll get to that in a minute. I'm going to jump up here in the chat real quick and check you guys out. First, I want to say big ups to the chat. Big ups to those wrenches that moderate our biggest fans. Oh, we need you, wrenches, and thank you so very much for doing it. Much appreciation. Activate Kruger, Florida, in the house. Compton, 2952. It's literally a bad case of the common flu. Nothing more, nothing less. That's exactly correct, Compton. You motherfuckers have been had. You've been lied to. Now, there ain't too many people that are going to believe me when I say this, but I'm going to go ahead and say it. I'm going to put it out there. A year and a half, 2 years before Trump was out of office, I was calling this. I knew that this was going to happen. I knew this was going to happen. I didn't know exactly how it was going to happen. The instant somebody said COVID, I was like, uh-oh. Every liberal talking head on television was forecasting that they were going to do anything. Google, Alphabet Company, YouTube, Insta, Facebook, everybody. Tim Cook over at Apple, everybody was saying we can never allow this to happen again. Now, if you think for 1 second that Trump wasn't handpicked, you're delusional. That motherfucker went rogue. That's what happened there. It is what it is, right? Don't think for one moment that there aren't billionaires and trillionaires warring over this planet and its possessions still, which you are the number one possession. Believe it or not. Without human labor, nothing happens. Nothing. Zero. Nada. Machines don't last forever. They're not indestructible. If a man makes it, it can be broken down. Just that simple. Bill Maher, in particular, was out there talking about, well, I know it sounds awful, but even if we destroy the economy, that would certainly get old Trumper out of there, right? And now what's that cocksucking piece of shit saying? Oh man, it's gone too far. What's up with all this cancel culture, you all? As if he didn't foster it. As if all of them didn't bury their noses in the asshole of that stinking corpse and trot it out and set it right on your doorstep and make it available for you to fall over. Because they did. Every single one of them. Every one of those goofy motherfuckers that are in these Hollywood movies. Everybody in the pedo community. Everybody in the Rainbow Brute community. All of them. Every fucking body. Not to mention the pharmaceutical companies that Trump cost billions and billions and billions of dollars. Oh, wait a minute. That was a temporary cost because they got it all back with interest. And you know how they do that? They lie to you. They lie their balls off. That's what they do. They lie their fucking nuts off. So it's just come out. Now, you know what? Fuck that. I'm not going to ruin this for you.
Let me ask you what the Daily Mail is reporting. It says more evidence COVID was tinkered with in a lab. Now scientists find the virus contains a tiny chunk of DNA that matches sequence patented by Moderna 3 years before the pandemic began.
Uh-oh. Reggie. Uh-oh. Somebody in trouble. Motherfucker's been lying to you. Now, how could a patented DNA sequence be in a brand new virus? Are you thinking what I'm thinking? If you're not, you should be. All of these goddamn drug companies were in on this shit together with your politicians. Don't believe the fucking hype. Anybody out there waving a flag in your face talking about patriotism is not on your fucking side. They're looking for a way to exploit you and use you. Say, Hammer, what the fuck does this have to do with MGTOW? It has everything to do with MGTOW. It has everything to do with you being aware of the powers that be, how they use you, how they abuse you, exploit you, kill you, rebirth you, and do it all over again. You've got to get smarter, folks. A lot smarter. When they say that this was the scam-demic or the plan-demic, they ain't bullshitting. This was planned. COVID-19 was unleashed on the world intentionally. Just pay attention to the political swings. Xi Jinping, Chinese premier, right? The Chinese president. A year into Trump's office, decides that he's going to declare himself president for life because he has to wait Trump out. Because everybody knows what's going on in India and China. At least, let me walk that back a little bit. Not everybody knows. As a matter of fact, the vast majority of these motherfucking skunks out here don't know anything. They know how to go to a buffet. That's what they know how to do. They know how to waste money faster than they can make it. They know how to do that. They know how to chase around pussy and sacrifice their lives and their futures. That's what they know. What they should know is who's planning and plotting on them. They should know that. Ryan McKenzie, we tried to tell you. Yeah, homie, we tried to tell them. But guess what? You weren't telling them anything that they didn't already know. They just didn't want it getting out to the masses. And now Moderna has been caught red-handed. Do you know how badly these motherfuckers want Putin to nuke the Ukraine? They just dropped one, motherfucker. Just one. And then our little bullshit seems like a walk in the park. Do you know how bad they want Putin to do something stupid? He's not going to do anything dumb. He's assisting people that have called him for assistance. Plain and simple. Maybe you could go watch The View for a while. Listen to Joy Behar talk about how horrific this is on her vacation schedule.
Your reaction, Stefan. What can you tell us?
That's about right, bitch. Oh.
Well, ain't this a worldwide pandemic oddity, my friends? That's right. All of a sudden, out of nowhere, just like that, the coof, boys, it's gone. Whether you love Putin or hate the hackers known as Hitler Putins, you have to admit the dude's been obviously instrumental at clearly curing COVID, since it's not a big deal anymore.
And it's not. And it never was to anybody with half a fucking brain. They all benefit from your stupidity. They all benefit from your inability to control yourself and not be panic-stricken and riddled with fear when they saber rattle. Oh man, we're going to take away your crumbs. You better watch out. You better not cry. You better not shout. I'm telling you why. Hammer Claus is blowing your shit up. Hail, Salty Army. Hail, Salty Army. Let's get back to that.
That's right. Whole bunch of war fucking criminals, human rights people out there who have forcibly injected through coercion or threats of violence people, populations, little children with an experimental injection, all quietly exiting stage left as everybody else's attention is on Ukraine right now. Fascinating how that works. We're not going to let this just slip right under the rug, right? We're not going to let this fly under the radar. We're going to continue to call this out. And this aspect right here, seemingly gaining a little bit of steam, I should say. It's despite the fact that everyone's telling me World War III just popped off. I'm glad to see this make it to Fox News. Don't get me wrong, Fox is asshole.
And he's not wrong. Fox is still ass cancer. Just like CNN, just like MSNBC, just like OAN, all of these people that are vying for your attention, your ears, your eyes, the winning of hearts and minds, don't fall for that fucking shit. Don't fall for that shit. These people are criminals. They have committed crimes against humanity, and they must answer for those crimes. We'll see how determined the American people, the people of the world, in fact, are to bring these son of a bitches to justice. Sort of like, have you ever seen Deep Space Nine? You know when the Kardashians bring somebody to justice? It's predetermined that they're fucking guilty. They just go through the motions of the trial to put on a good show. These motherfuckers are guilty. Guilty as charged. By whom? You have no authority. That's all the fucking authority that I need. I see what you've done. I see what they have done. And you see it too. Some of you run towards that. Some of you run away from it. But none of you can close your eyes to it. The evidence is overwhelming. It's overwhelming. I don't want to make this a particularly long one. Not a long one. Tyler Schaffner, Hammer got me fired up. Lock and load, boys. Keep your fucking head on a swivel with everybody. Trust no one.
But our side's been talking about this for over a week now. It's been in the Charlize conspiracy theorons zones of the interwebs, where we have found a certain chunk of COVID-19 that was patented by Moderna 3 years ago. What? What? Yeah, now they're talking.
Ain't that some funny shit? Now, look, man, this is undeniable. Undeniable. It is fact. Like the sun comes up, like the sky is blue. When it's not raining, of course, because some motherfucker will point that out. Like there's sand on the beach. It's undeniable. Like simps will simps and cucks will flock to Jack Murphy. It's undeniable. 3 years prior, Moderna patented a DNA sequence that's found in the brand new COVID. Yeah.
Talking about it on Fox. That's right. You got to keep the pressure on. These people are specifically using a brand new worldwide crisis to get people to forget the fuck has just been going on for 2 years, where every single conspiracy terrorist is right. They were totally right. There's a reason why all of these people were kicked off of Twitter. There's a reason why all these people were kicked off of Facebook. There's a reason why all these people were kicked off of YouTube. And they've been right the entire time. These people weren't proven wrong. The sons of bitches who have been promoted, the sons of bitches who get more and more television airtime, the people who get the blue checks, they've been wrong. The dudes who've called this have been silenced. That's not on accident. Take a look at this. This is InfoWars. Watch. Moderna CEO struggles to answer why COVID-19 contains patented gene sequence. Because he's a criminal, allegedly.
That's not a joke. He's a fucking criminal. That beady-eyed little cocksucker, that fucking pencil pusher, that goddamn nerd right there with the loose collar, that son of a bitch needs to be strung up by his balls and beat with sticks. And the rest of them do too. And don't let that broad sitting next to him, don't let her off the hook. All of these motherfuckers have participated in this deception against you, have cost 100,000 people their lives, and injected billions with who the fuck knows what. Pure blood, motherfucker.
That's why this dude's sitting there going, oh, fuck, Putin. Come on, nuke something, Putin. This guy's fucking begging for World War III.
President Putin has ordered Russia's strategic nuclear forces to be placed on high alert.
Please blow up some civilians so we can get World War III popped off. This is insane. Moderna CEO Stefan Bosnell fumbled when asked why COVID-19 was found to contain a gene sequence patented by the company 3 years before the pandemic. Do you need to be an internet Nostradamus to figure this out? Because they gained this. I think the odds are 1 in 3 billion, something like this. In a Thursday appearance on Fox Business, Mornings with Maria, Bancel was asked by host Maria why a tiny chunk of DNA patented by Moderna was found in COVID-19.
Let me ask you what the Daily Mail is reporting. It says more evidence COVID was tinkered with in a lab. Now scientists find the virus contains a tiny chunk of DNA that matches sequence patented by Moderna 3 years before the pandemic began. Your reaction?
Just so that you understand, if y'all are having a hard time wrapping your head around that, that means they patented these genetic DNA sequences. These sequencers constructed the motherfucker and let it loose on you. That's what that means. Of course, you know this video will be struck down for medical misinformation. And that's all right. That's not the first time that it's happened to me. It won't be the last. If the channel goes away, I'll have another one up tomorrow. But guess what? I think Moderna's going to go away. I think that the worldwide outrage should consume these motherfuckers and not even bone dust should be left.
Action, Stefan. What can you tell us?
So my scientists are looking into those data to see how accurate they are or not. As I've said before, the hypothesis of an escape from a lab by an accident is possible. You know, human makes mistakes.
No, it's not an...
This is not a human makes mistakes, homeboy. This is a human makes a virus and unleashes it on mankind for political purposes. Would you believe me if I told you this was to get one motherfucker out of office? The bull in the china shop had to go. He had to go. When you have the entirety of the tech oligarchy saying the same shit, parroting it up and down, we must make sure that this never happens again, that it can never happen again. All of them, Alphabet, Google, fucking Apple, Tim Cook, all of these motherfuckers, CNN, NBC, ABC, CBS, all of them. All of them. With the intelligence apparatus of the world, the whole planet, stuffed up one man's ass for 5 straight fucking years. Old boy comes away with a clean colonoscopy, and they still going after him. Oh, is that a message to him, or is that a message to anybody that would dare try it again? It's probably a little bit of both.
Accident that this COVID-19 is unleashed upon the planet, and every single mainstream media apparatus, every single big tech oligarch platform, every single one of them silenced this exact opinion right here. It's fascinating how 2 years later, this guy goes, oh yeah, totally could have escaped the escape hypothesis. Oh yeah, humans fuck shit up all the time. You weren't allowed to say that. I don't think you're allowed to say that now, by the way. YouTube fired this dude, right? YouTube ban him, right? Unperson him, freeze his bank accounts. This is a conspiracy theory. He's a terrorist, right? There's a reason why you weren't able to say this, because that's clearly what happened. That's what happened. Any reasonable person 2.5 years ago should have been like, we need to make sure that this wasn't a fucking lab leak. We got to make sure it wasn't a lab leak, because if it wasn't a lab leak, it possibly was intended. It was intentional. And we got to figure out if this motherfucker was intentional, that's a...
There is no doubt that it was intentional. There is no doubt that there is between 1 and 1.5 million embedded Chinese spies in this country right now. That's their own records that confirm that shit. There's no doubt that there's 200,000 border jumpers overrunning this fucking country at the southern border every single month. There's no doubt. The time is going to come sooner than later that folks that don't want to fight, that don't want to pick up their fucking gats, that don't want to start kicking mud in the faces of these motherfuckers, you're going to have to. You're going to have to, or you're going to have to give away your whole fucking existence. Make a fucking choice.
War. It's biological warfare. And instead of being a rational human being, all these blue fucking tards with their check marks on Twitter and all of these esteemed fact checkers at Washington Post, New York Times, Facebook, and YouTube, they're like, oh no, we called up China, and China said they didn't do it, and it wasn't an accident, so you're not allowed to say it on this platform. They're criminals. These people are all criminals. The people running Facebook, all these CEOs, all of these board members, all these motherfuckers, they're all criminals. They wouldn't let you say this because that's clearly what happened, right? Now this dude comes out and he goes, oh yeah, so you found a bunch of this, so there's a genetic sequence in there that we patented, so what's in the virus? Yeah, it's probably because it's a lab leak. Holy shit. There's a reason why Ukraine's on fire. There's a reason why the narrative has shifted to the mainstream media.
Let's talk about that for a second. Has anybody put 2 and 2 together? The surgical strikes that are going on over in the Ukraine, the thousands of videos that are coming out with Ukrainian citizens confronting Russian soldiers, confronting entire armored columns, and they're getting no pushback, no resistance, because they're not fucking there to dominate the Ukraine. They're there to take out bioweapons labs. 10 of them approximately. Does it make sense that you would want the land that borders your land that is diametrically opposed to the way that the West does business to not be infiltrated by the West or bioweapons labs? Does anybody remember what gain of function research is? Gain of function research. Oh, no, we never did that. Says Fauci the ouchie. No, that never happened. And then when somebody leaked his fucking emails and it proved that he did it, oh, well, maybe. That's illegal to look at. Only the press can look at that. Because that's what the press was telling you a few years ago, that they are the arbiters of truth. You better fucking believe that it was Putin going in there and kicking ass and taking fucking names. We had that only a few short months ago, a year and some months ago. I know what you think about Trump. I think the same thing. But at least it was this country first. For the most part. He made some fucking mistakes. That's for sure. That's for certain. But doggone, guys. God.
Media press is weaponizing information to try and make it look like Putin is now the new Hitler, right? Not even the new Hitler. Putin's the new Trump, because Trump's worse than Hitler, right, lefties? You fucking tards. There's a reason why you're being knee-jerked into another direction. There's a reason why the fear porn is on a 38 at this point and the propaganda is on a 52. There's a reason why this is being blasted. They need to move away from COVID because COVID's all out of steam and the fucking receipts are coming. And they want everybody's attention shifted somewhere else. Everybody who's not a fucking tard understands this. What an insane fucking segment right here.
That box of checks is coming due. It's coming due. Every time you write the check, somebody has to cash it. It doesn't get thrown away. It's not a fucking Hollywood movie. The check always comes due. Always. When you borrow against the house, you pay back double. These motherfuckers are going to burn in this life or the next. I would prefer that it be in this life. They're going to burn. We'll see. We'll see. Every time I do one of these, I inevitably get 5 or 10 emails where motherfuckers, oh man, Hammer, you're losing it, homie. I used to listen to you, man, but you're so radicalized. You do you. Do what you got to do. Do what you got to do. If this is a little too close to home for you, if it bugs your sensibilities a little too much, if it makes your pussy twitch, get the fuck off the channel and stop sending me stupid emails. That's just the way that is. Folks, you have to wake up and recognize what's going on out there. Your nice, comfortable little life, whether it sucks ass here, is much, much better than somebody's good life in South America, most of them, or Mexico, or a lot of Canada for that matter. You're spoiled fucking rotten. And I know that sucks to hear when you can't walk, or when your feet are swollen, or your legs are broken, or your old lady just ran off with your kids. But you need perspective as well. Get that perspective. Trader in the Trees, Mexico is actually pretty amazing. Well, I'm sure that every part of Mexico is not amazing, especially the part where they bury thousands of motherfuckers with no marker. So I don't even want to hear that fucking shit. Sigma Rodan, what's up, homie? They outright say that these men are fighting for the new world order, whether they like it or not. How about that female privilege of not having to register for a draft? Or, hey, bitch, grab all your shit and evacuate the Ukraine. All these fellas over here, 18 to 60, they're going to exercise their male privilege and they're going to take your gun too. And they're going to fight your fight. Gosh darn it, all that patriarchal energy. It's amazing. It's amazing. Hellraiser, NWO is knocking on Putin's door. And he says, get the fuck out of here. Yeah. Electrical shrapnel buffering issues. Anyone else? Not for me. I just turned the video off. I just stopped the video. So there, we done. No more video. Deep thinker. The snakes use both sides to achieve total domination. Of course they do. It's the only way. It's the only way. Tim Elgato. I will not fight or die for a system that hates me. It would be kind of nice to think that they actually do hate you. At least it would be something. I think that they don't feel enough about any one of us to actually hate us. It's like, go get those conscripts over there, put rifles in their hands, and send them over there to kill those motherfuckers, or we're going to kill them here. That's pretty much choice. I didn't want to make this one super long. 568 of you crazy son of a bitches in here watching this old man ramble. I'm honored, as always. And don't take it too hard, fellas, when I tell you to stop sending stupid-ass messages about what you think I can do better. A lot of that comes from fear. A lot of it comes from, man, I just wanted to live my life. I did too. I still want to just live my life. I just want to live my life. But you can't be deaf, dumb, and blind and then sway for a choice. Or then bay and moan and piss and moan about things not going your way when you chose to be deaf, dumb, and blind. At least understand what's going on out there in the world and take measures to make yourselves better, more immune. Get a better defense against this shit. You need it. You need it. Your closest, well, what should have been your closest allies on earth, women, aren't working for you. They're not working with you. They're working against you. And so are a lot of men. You have to accept the fact that if you're listening to this and you're not in total revulsion, if you're not spasming, freaking out, talking about, oh man, how can we, it's crazy. If you're not doing any of that, it's because you recognize. And you should pat yourself on the back. You're one of the exceptional few. There aren't many of you, but it's enough to make a difference. I'm telling you that right now. It's enough to make a difference. Our talk, our philosophy, our lingo is starting to permeate the culture. It's not going to be long before it dominates the culture. That's MGTOW and Monk. That's SYSBM and IBMOR. Somebody left me a comment that said, why do I tag IBMOR and SYSBM? They're anti-white. They hate us. I said, well, if that's what they're pushing, then they're not IBMOR. Then they're not SYSBM. Those men are focusing on bettering themselves. You may hear people that claim that. They don't represent the body. And I promise you that. They don't represent the body. 99.999% of us want to get along, want to be able to see our brothers. If we don't agree with their lifestyle, send them on their way and do our own thing. That's what we really want. That's what I want. Tim Elgato. Oh, man, I just read that shit. Pardon me, Tim. I'm not going to hit it again. Gunsight 1. We're going to make 304 a household term. It already is. I see it in mainstream media. I see it in mainstream media. Now, I don't know who coined it, but I know who popularized it. That was Greg Adams. Shout out, Greg Adams. Good job. It's not the first time that Greg has put something out there in the ether and it stuck. Michael Waters. Hammer, making my day. MGTOW. Ooh. Shinobi-Wan, brother PK Grows. WM, Moderna are a bunch of fucking criminals. Yes, they are. So's Pfizer. So's Johnson & Johnson. I don't know who the fourth manufacturer is. All of them are scum. Scum. And they have proven beyond any shadow of a doubt that they have no compunction about using you as a fucking guinea pig to get back at the political establishment, to get back at the people that put that one particular political guy in office. That's your punishment, you goof. Didn't you know that? To take 2.5 years of your fucking life away, to put the whole world on timeout. And it's just a select few, and you let them do it. I think that they understand now that if this goes much further, all of their asses will be swinging from trees. I'm fairly certain that they understand that. Then again, who knows? These motherfuckers are stupid. They're psychotic brilliant, but they're stupid in real life. Anyways, gents, I think that that's going to be the end of it. Just wanted to get on there and let you know what was going on, man. Moderna apparently has a lot to answer for. And it'll be interesting over the coming days, weeks, and months to see if anybody is actually held accountable for any fucking thing at all. Don't worry. I'll catch you on the next one. somehow